Today we are looking at the psychology of money, and I'm going to share with us a summary. So just 10 money lessons that will change your life. I highly recommend this book. If there's a book about money that you need to read, not just once but consistently, it is Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel. And most people think that doing well with money is about math, like the math that's related to money. And Morgan Housel says that it's not. It's about behavior, it's about psychology, hence the name Psychology of Money. And you've seen this. You can earn a high income and still struggle financially at the end of the day. Whereas there's someone who can earn an average amount of income, but they'll quietly build wealth over time. The difference is not intelligence or accumulation of information, the difference is psychology. One person has understood their money psychology, whereas the other one hasn't understood. So today we are breaking down the 10 most powerful lessons from this book, Psychology of Money, and I'm going to show you exactly how to apply them to your life, to your financial life, even as we start this year, so that when you make financial decisions, you get to make informed financial decision with an understanding that your money is more controlled by emotions and psychology as compared to spreadsheets. Lesson one, and that's in the first chapter of this book. Lesson one: no one is crazy with money. People make financial decisions based on their experiences, not spreadsheets and not actual mathematics. They say, like, there's a saying that says people buy with emotions, then satisfy or give explanations using logic. Because what you grew up seeing, when we come back to finances, what you grew up seeing shapes how you save money, how you spend money, and how you invest. Two people, someone who lived through a financial hardship, they value security a lot. Someone who grew up not seeing money, they really value security because they want to hold onto it. On the other hand, someone who grew up during boom times when money was plenty, they may take more risks because when they were growing up, they saw the family, they saw the close people who were close to them taking those risks. How do you get to apply this? Stop copying other people's financial decisions, because people are making their financial decisions based on their lifestyle, based on how they have been brought up. So stop making financial decisions based on other people. You see someone has bought a particular car, you want to buy that. Someone has bought a house or built a house, you want to do that, without knowing the reason behind why the particular person has done that. Audit your own money beliefs and ask yourself questions like, why do I think this is a good idea when it comes to my finances? Why do I think this is an excellent idea? Why do I think I should invest? Why should you make financial decisions based on your own knowledge? So build a money plan that fits your reality, not someone else's perspective or someone else's life. Lesson number two is that luck and risks are always involved. Now, luck and risk, they are invisible, You can't see them, but they are always present. Every success story includes luck. Every failure includes some bad timing. And the mistake that most people make is copying outcomes instead of understanding probabilities. Someone who has been successfully investing money, you might see it as luck, but you don't understand the work that has gone into it, the input that has gone into it for them to be where they are. The more you practice something, the more you improve your probability of succeeding in that particular aspect. So, how do you get to apply this? Don't chase stories, but chase patterns. Someone once told me that if you see a billionaire um, succeeding in life, don't try to copy what you see, but copy what you don't see. The patterns, the systems, the story behind what you can see, that is what is making them to succeed. Their behavior, their routine work, that's what's making them to succeed. So don't chase stories, what you see, but chase patterns. Another application is that diversify and leave room for error. Make decisions that survive bad luck and not just reward good luck. Lesson number three: getting rich is different from staying rich. Getting rich requires risk taking. You have to take a lot of risk, either through investing, through uh, inventing something, developing a software, having a particular concept, or there are so many different ways. So, getting rich requires risk taking. You have to take risk. But staying rich requires humility, requires that you are humble, and requires that you are consistent in what you do so that you maintain that level. Many people know how to make money, but very few know how to keep that money to enable uh, it to multiply and reach higher levels. Staying wealthy is about avoiding ruin. How do you apply this? As as your money grows, reduce unnecessary risk. Protect what you've built. It's more important to protect what you built than running to bring in some more when what you already have you haven't protected it. Remember, you don't need to win big, but you need to stay in the game and stay in the game for long. As I always say, looking for money and staying rich and is a game. And the moment and you want to stay in the game for as long as you possibly can. Because the moment you lose money, you are technically out of the game and you stop playing that game. Lesson number four: wealth is what you don't see. We live in the society where people are moved by what they see: houses, cars, luxury, yachts, flights, and now that's spending. That's not wealth. That's spending. Wealth is the money that you didn't spend. Wealth is the money that you don't spend. The unseen money. If you see someone driving an expensive car, for instance, or in a private jet, the only thing that you know for sure is that they now have less money than before because they have spent that amount of money. How do you get to apply this? Stop measuring success by lifestyle and instead track net worth, track savings, track freedom. The quiet choices that you make when it comes to finances, they matter much more than visible choices. Lesson number five: that saving and investing is buying back your time or buying back freedom. Saving and investing is not about fear, it's about control. You being able to control your future, you being able to control times that are ahead. Saving and investing, they give you the ability to say no to a bad job, to say no to a bad employer, to say no to bad situations and wait for better opportunities for you. Now, this is what we call freedom. How would you apply this? Save consistently or invest consistently even when it feels boring. And the only way to do this is by automating your savings or automating your investing and not relying on your own intuition or your own feelings to invest or to save. Think of savings as buying options for your future, not depriving your present. And so when you change your mindset, your perspective of saving and investing, and understand it as buying option for your future and not depriving your present, you will have an eagle's view of the whole concept. Lesson number 6 is that reasonable beats rational. Reasonable beats rational. The best financial plan is not the smartest one. It's the one that you can stick to. It's the one that works for you. It's the one that can be adaptable to suit you and suit your needs. Perfect plans fail when emotions take over, but simple and reasonable plans will always survive. Application: choose strategies and systems in place that let you sleep at night. Automate savings and investing so that you don't have to be battling with your emotions to whether to save or to invest. And finally, work on consistency because consistency always beats brilliance. Lesson number 7: compounding needs time, not genius. As someone once said that compounding is the next wonder of the world or the earth. Now, compounding works best with time and not intelligence. And one person who we all know that has worked well for them is Warren Buffett. And he didn't just invest well, he invested for decades. He invested for over 70 years of his life. Interrupting compounding is more damaging than making a bad decision. So when you start the journey of investing, you have to understand the rules of compounding and don't interrupt the process. And like we are saying, interrupting the process of compounding is making a bad financial decision. To apply this, start early and stay patient. Avoid unnecessary buying and selling and let time do the heavy lifting. And before we go to the lesson 8, when it comes to compounding and time aspect, it does not only apply to money, it applies to behavior, to skills, to patterns, to not patterns, but to habits, to being fit, to think of anything given time compounds, and it can compound either positively to serve you or negatively to destroy you. Lesson number 8: that survival is the first rule of money. The most important rule of money is survival. If if you could avoid disaster, you don't need extraordinary success. Leverage, overconfidence, and greed will always uh, lead people to bad returns. They will always lead people to make bad financial decisions. But if you can learn to survive, and it takes me back to the point that we said earlier on that money is a game, and you want to stay in the game for as long as you possibly can. The moment you lose money, you are out of the game. And one better way of not losing the money is mastering survival. So survival is an important rule. Applications: avoid debt heavy strategies. Ask yourself, what happens if this goes wrong? When investing money, when saving, when making important financial decisions, ask yourself this: what happens if this goes wrong? Another application: if one mistake can destroy you, then the risk is too high for you. Lesson 9: always leave room for errors. The future is always unpredictable when it comes to money and finances. Plans fail not because they're wrong, but plans fail because they assume perfection. They assume 100% returns. But room for error turns stress into resilience. How could you apply this? Assume lower returns than you hope for. Keep emergencies buffer to buffer you, and understand that flexibility is more valuable than precision. Lesson number 10. It's important for you to define what enough means for you. There is no finish line when it comes to wealth. If you don't define enough, then the goalposts will keep moving, they'll keep shifting, and you'll never feel secure when it comes to finances. Many financial mistakes come from people who already have had enough but didn't realize that they have had enough. And so the goalposts keep shifting. And I'll give you an example. Setting or defining what's enough for you will be something that looks like this. Deciding that um, at the end of the month, I want to make 100K. At the end of the month, I want to make 50K. Because without that goal, your rush to make money or your desire to make money becomes blurry, becomes not clear. And you will make 100K at the end of that month, but because you don't have that goal of making 100K, it's not clear for you. You will continue the race to make 200 or the race to make 300. And the cycle will continue until the time that you sit down and decide what enough means for you. When I was writing my book, I can't see it, I will have shared with you. Sorry, I can't see it. When I was writing my book, actually, the day of the launch, I decided what is enough for me. Just, I'll get that book for us. After the last bell, the day that I was launching this book, after the last bell, the teacher's blueprint to monetize your skills, redesign your career, and thrive beyond the classroom. The day that I was launching this book, I had invited friends, I had invited colleagues, I had invited people that I know. And so I had to define what was enough for me, because I had done the tough part, writing a book, having it printed and having it published and making it available for people. And so I had to define my enough, because if I had not defined my enough and few people showed up for the book launch, probably I would have felt bad. But because I had defined my enough, that even if one person had shown up for the book launch, I would still be satisfied. And when you apply that rule in life, when you apply that rule in your finances, you start, when you define your number, what's enough for you, it gives you a sense of achievement. It gives you a sense of, I've done this, my goal was this, and I have achieved this. And so you become less stressed, you become less affected when and satisfied when you attain certain goals. When you want this, I'll leave the details in the description. You can always reach out to me and we'll have it delivered. So, lesson 10, application: define your number, protect your number, and stop playing games that you've already won. I've got 3 bonus for us. Bonus number 1, tails you win. What does this mean? It's tails you win. It emphasizes patience and long-term thinking and accepting frequent small failures as necessary for the rare massive success that truly shapes outcomes. In investing and in life at large, a few good decisions often matter more than many average decisions. You don't need to be right all the time. So, and the few times that you'll be wrong, it's a psychological mindset. Call it a win. Tails, you win. So that there is no losing. A small achievement is still a win. In application, don't panic over small losses. Focus on staying invested in long enough for the big wins that will come. Bonus number two, the last one, is that you will eventually change. Your goals today are not your goals tomorrow. Picture your life 2, 3 years ago. The thing that you so desired are very different from the thing that you desire now. At the beginning of last year, my desire was to write and launch this book. I wrote, I launched, I sold copies, I'm still selling them. But right now, my goal is very different. I'm working on another book. We are growing this channel. We are working on master classes, on masterminds. So you keep changing, goals keep changing, and many people lock themselves into plans that their future selves will resent or they will regret. To apply this, build flexibility into your finances and avoid extreme commitments that remove future choices. So those are the lessons that I wanted to share. There are many others. They are actually around 19 lessons in this book. Grab a copy. I'll leave the link in the description if you want to get it on Amazon. So as I close, money is not a math problem, and money is not a spreadsheet problem. Money is a behavior problem. If you can control your ego, your expectations around money, your emotions, the psychology around how you behave around money, the numbers will start working in your favor. The goal isn't to look rich, the goal is to stay free. And that marks the end of our video on the lessons on this book, Psychology of Money.